Hi everyone, my name is Evan Macknick, and welcome to Nginx Basics. This episode of Code TV will start a new series about Nginx. It's going to be geared towards Ruby on Rails developers, and we'll be discussing some of the basics, making things work with your Rails app, as well as customizations. This first episode will cover what Nginx is, why you should use it, installing Nginx, and basic configuration. Afterwards, you should be able to set up Nginx on your own server and begin using it. Nginx is a high-performance HTTP and proxy server, or web server, that was created by Igor Sysoyev in 2002. When used with a Rails application, this will route incoming requests appropriately. Some requests may go to the app, whereas others may just be static files that are not served by Rails. It also supports hosting multiple sites and can route traffic based on the requested hostname. Nginx uses an event-driven architecture for handling requests, instead of a threaded model. There is one master process that spawns a configured number of workers, all waiting for an event on the main event loop. When a user sends a request, an event is triggered and one of the workers picks up the request. It then serves it back to the user in a response and waits for another event. Meanwhile, the user has received the response and everyone is happy. This type of architecture has the benefit of keeping a low, consistent memory footprint, which is great for handling small as well as large amounts of traffic. Aside from the performance benefits, Nginx also has a well-documented API. As you'll see later, it isn't hard to find out what the directives are doing in the configurations, both by reading the configuration files as well as the Nginx wiki. This makes customizing Nginx easy for you as well as systems administrators who may come along later. To demonstrate how to install Nginx, I'm working on a Vagrant virtual machine with Ubuntu 12.10. Vagrant is a way to test things out using a virtual environment so you can get a feel for what the production system will be like. While most of this will be specific to Debian-based systems, the concept should be the same for other system types. I've already booted the machine and logged in using SSH. If you look at the documentation on the Nginx site, there are a couple of ways to install it depending on the system. While we could definitely build the package from source, we're going to opt for the built-in package manager. If you've ever used Ubuntu, some of the package versions may be a bit old, and running sudo apt cache policy nginx will show you what's available. Version 1.2.1 is a bit out of date, and to get the latest stable version, we'll need to install the Nginx PPA repository. To do that, just run sudo add apt repository PPA Nginx stable. And then sudo apt-get update. Now if we run apt cache policy nginx, again, we'll see the updated version is available. Just run sudo apt-get install nginx and it will be installed. Let's go ahead and start Nginx to make sure that everything is working properly by running sudo /etc/init.d/nginx start. We can check by hitting the IP address of the virtual machine. We can see the default Nginx welcome page, so everything seems to be good. By default, configuration for Nginx lives in etc/nginx, and there are a couple of files that we're concerned with right now. The nginx.conf file provides the base configuration that will be shared among all of the sites that are served by Nginx. This file sets up things like the user, number of Nginx workers available, logging, and other custom settings. For our needs, in this first part, the default should be fine. Nginx has one site enabled by default, and the configuration for it is in sites enabled/default. If you're familiar with virtual hosts in Apache, this is the same type of thing. Typically, we want to keep the configuration specific to a given site in its respective configuration file. Looking at the default configuration, we can see that this site is listening on port 80 and will be served when a port is not specified in the browser. The other thing we'll want to note is the root directive, which tells Nginx where to find the files for this site. This one has the root in user share nginx html, and Nginx will be looking for an index.html or index.htm file in that location. We won't worry about the other settings at this time, but let's see what's in the site's folder. Open up user share nginx html and we have a 50x.html file, as well as the index.html file. The 50x.html one will be served if there is a 500 error, and it can be customized if you don't like the default error page. If we open the index.html, we can see the code for the page that was served in the browser earlier. So that concludes the Nginx Basics episode of Code TV. I want to challenge you to try setting up Nginx for yourself. The easiest way is to test on a Vagrant box, like I did, or if you need more information, check out the Vagrant website. I hope you enjoyed this screencast, and make sure to check back later for the next episode in this series, where we'll be setting up Nginx to work with a Ruby on Rails application. Have a great day, and thanks for watching!